Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 7th day of September. Well, what's happening today? We have got 22 degrees and mostly sunny right here in Brisbane. It's still looking like a beautiful day out here in Brisbane. Well, most of the days we have here is beautiful. Well, right now let's get on with some of the news. And today, in the ending segment, we will have the special interview with ISKCON as they are celebrating their Krishna Janmashtami today, and we know that there have been multiple programs happening right throughout Brisbane, and wishing everyone all the very best for Krishna Janmashtami. Well, right now let's go to ICT, where the top cop voices support for reduction of penalties in drug use.
Police keeping tabs on the city's nightlife will soon have to adjust their approach.
Now, they're going to see things, going to see people probably take a line of coke where historically they may have intervened. Probably not going to now, so we're just going to have to think about how we change the mindset of our members.
From October 28th, penalties for personal possession of small amounts of the most commonly used illicit drugs in the ACT will be reduced, resulting in fines and voluntary treatment referrals rather than a court date.
The overarching principle of the legislation is to treat addiction as a health issue, and I 100% support that.
But with big festivals like Summernats and spilt milk attracting interstate visitors soon after the change, Canberra's top cop worries there'll be mixed messages.
There will be confusion between particularly young people who won't understand the difference between decriminalisation and legalisation, and that could actually see an increase in people try drugs that don't.
How are people going to act when they come in? Is it going to be like going to Las Vegas, is it going to be that sort of attitude? And that's not what we want as licensees.
Some pub owners in popular night spots say there needs to be more consultation with venues.
We have responsible service of alcohol, and as you know, drugs can affect the perception of RSA. So how are we going to police RSA if there's wider drug use, especially on people coming into licensed venues?
The ACT government wants police to target drug traffickers and dealers.
That is a criminal offence, and that is where we would want police to focus, not on putting a 17-year-old into a juvenile justice centre because they smoked some cannabis or took a pill.
The government says it's investing in specialist alcohol, tobacco and other drug treatment and support services. Harry Frost, ABC News, Canberra.
I believe that will send out mixed messages as the publican said, because people will think it's like Las Vegas. Oh wow! Now we can go to ICT and we can possess these substances and not get in trouble. Let's go to Canberra. That's where people will be headed for right now. Right now when we're going through this referendum and the yes and no vote, there's also calls for a dedicated National Commissioner for First Nations people.
A caucus with a clear call.
What we are calling for today is to have a National Commissioner for Aboriginal Children and Young People.
At the largest Aboriginal child welfare conference in the country, advocates say the status quo is failing. They want to turn over a new page.
Our children are overrepresented in all the wrong ways, in out-of-home care, in the youth justice systems, in failures in education. These are system failures.
Government being called to act rather than react later.
It's significantly faster to stand up a National Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Children's Commissioner than it would be to call a Royal Commissioner. This could be in place before the end of the year, and certainly the announcement could come a lot faster.
At the other end of the country in Canberra, neither the federal government nor opposition are making promises. When contacted by the ABC, Social Services Minister Amanda Rishworth said determining the functions of a national advocate is underway through a government plan. However, what form it may take isn't particularly clear, and there are no hard timelines for when such a role would be created. For now, the federal focus firmly on The Voice, which launched its local campaign in Darwin today. Advocates here on the ground in Darwin arguing that irrespective of whether a voice to Parliament is successful or not, a national commissioner dedicated to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children is essential for improving outcomes for young children. Miles.
So this is setting across a precedent, as we can see. We got the referendum coming up. The commissioner, well, that could be a good thing. But once again, proper consultation with the community and looking at that. And the other thing to note is not to, discriminate. Let's have one rule for everyone now. If we are going to bring our indigenous community up to the same level as everyone else, let the rules and regulations be, what's happened in the past has happened in the past. Let's treat everyone fairly and squarely. One rule for everyone right across the board. Well, right now, let's look at that car chase and the crash in Sydney where the driver was speeding.
Tiana Savignano was in court supporting her boyfriend, Johnson Kokosian. On her way out, she was arrested too, accused of trying to cover up his alleged crimes. Police escorted Miss Savignano into Liverpool Police Station in front of the alleged victim's family, where she was charged with concealing a serious offence and hindering the police investigation. Next door, her 20-year-old partner faced court, where prosecutors upgraded his charges, alleging he was driving close to 100 kilometres an hour in a 50-kilometre zone when his car smashed head-on into a Toyota Echo. 24-year-old Alina Kaufman and her 15-year-old brother Ernesto Salazar died at the scene. 3 men were filmed fleeing after the crash before emergency crews arrived. Johnson Kokosian then posted on social media a video of himself enjoying a last meal before handing himself in to police. He's accused of being behind the wheel of his father's Mercedes when he hit the siblings' car. Mr Kokosian did not appear in person when his case was heard in Liverpool local court, where prosecutors upgraded his charges to 2 counts of aggravated dangerous driving occasioning death. They've also added 1 count of exceeding the speed limit by more than 45 kilometres an hour. As he faced court, police arrested 21-year-old Cruz Davis Tucker at a nearby home, charging him with concealing a serious offence and hindering the investigation. Let's go. Mr Kokosian's father was also arrested at their family home and taken to Liverpool Police Station, where he's being questioned by detectives. Leah Harris, ABC.
So there you go. That's shocking news. One, taking father's car out for a spin and crashing. Number 2, hiding. And number 3, posting on social media. How gross can that be? Right now, let's come to Queensland, where researchers are looking at using car batteries on wheels.
Brisbane retiree Robin Clarson charges his car during the day.
Starting at about 9 o'clock in the morning on a lovely spring day like today, the solar generation is supplying the household use as well as charging one car. By midday, it can charge both cars.
That's when his rooftop solar is pumping out the power.
As we get more and more of our electricity coming from the sun, we're going to want to shift people's charging towards the middle of the day when we have lots of electricity available.
The University of Queensland's found that most people plug their cars in at night. But researchers want to find ways of switching people to charging during the day.
It's about charging at a time that won't stress the grid and using the resources when they are abundant.
Robin Clarson thinks more charging options would be needed.
For example, if employers can provide solar power at their workplace, then EV owners can drive to their workplaces and still charge their cars during the day.
Like any new technology, the electricity grid needs to expand and change, and no doubt that this is a massive period of transformation.
It's even predicted that cars could be used to power homes and the grid.
That's the goal, that we can use these electric vehicles as batteries on wheels to bring down the costs of the transition.
I would love to do that, charge during the day and use it at night.
George Roberts, ABC News, Brisbane.
It might not be the case with everyone else, it will also have to fit in with the commitments and the work requirements and other timings of other people. I don't think it's a one-fits-all scenario. It will have to be based on individual cases. But of course, it is always a good way when there is research done into how to bring down the energy and not overload the grid. Well, let's go to NT, where the police promises to create some changes.
Last week, a fresh commissioner and a fresh commitment.
We are also announcing today that the Northern Territory Government will have a review into our police force.
The team conducting the evaluation fronting the cameras today, led by former officer and Police Association President Vince Kelly.
I can only hope that my previous service as a Northern Territory police officer and as President of the Police Association gives individual members the confidence that we're fair income, we're independent, and we want to hear from people.
The independent review will look into police resourcing, assessing whether stations in the Northern Territory have the officers and the equipment to effectively police their region.
We're certainly going to consult as widely as we can over the next 6 months to get some sort of an understanding of what community expectations of the police are and if they're realistic.
The community expectation of the police, well, of course, community always expects a lot, and the police force tries to deliver as much as they can under the rules and regulations by which they are tied and have to abide by as well. So in delivering those essential services, they also have to be mindful of the parameters in which they can work. Well, ladies and gentlemen, right now, as promised before, we'll go to that interview of the ISKCON Janamastami, and wishing everyone all the very best for Janamastami. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this very special segment into the Community Connect. And today we are going to be talking about the annual ISKCON Janamastami Festival. And to talk about that today, we have the pleasure of having in the studio with us Divyak Gyan Das from ISKCON Brisbane. Welcome to the show.
Hare Krishna.
And moving on with the show, let's find out about the ISKCON Janamastami happening this year again. So where and when is ISKCON Janamastami happening this year?
This year we are celebrating Janmashtami festival on 7th of September, which is coming Thursday, at the Croatian Club in Brisbane. The address is 164 Dunn Road, Rockley. In previous years, we have celebrated Janmashtami in the same venue twice, and it's the very appropriate venue, especially in this cozy winter seasons. So we are looking forward for all your association with your family, kids and friends.
And it is wonderful to find out about the venue. And it is a very good venue, I must say, because it's quite large, and there's many experiences that people can get upstairs, downstairs, and at the back as well. It's amazing. So we're talking about the experience. People come in there, they have lots of experience. So what kind of experience and activities can the guest expect on the day?
All I can say is get ready for an unforgettable ISKCON Brisbane's Grand Janmashtami Festival. It's filled with a lot of cultural activities, joyful vibes, heartwarming moments, and stage performances, vibrant kids activities, and on top of it, the highlight of the program is free prasadam for everyone.
And that again is wonderful. Now you did mention kids, so when kids come, they're always looking for something different because there are things for the adults, that's fine, but I think things need to be tailored so that it takes the interest so that the kids are interested as well. So what are the plans for kids? Any special activities for kids?
Absolutely. Calling all the kids to join the fun at the Janmashtami festival. We have got an exclusive hall filled with excitements, face paintings, kirtans, delightful kirtans for kids, engaging games, other cultural activities, and we have a specific designated ISKCON devotee team to ensure a safe and memorable, joyful experience for your kids.
And that is so good because if having that dedicated area for the kids is definitely a very, very good way to go, because we need to, otherwise kids are not interested in coming to our events. They're disengaged. They say, all the adults are there, they're doing their thing. So this is very wonderful. And thanks very much, for doing that, because we need to keep the kids engaged as well. And now, of course, when people come to the ISKCON Janmashtami or ISKCON festivals, people always look forward to the wonderful food. So will there be prasadam and mahaprasadam on the night?
Absolutely. How can there be an ISKCON festival without prasadam? So again, get ready for the feast that will not only satisfy your heart and your belly, but also your soul. So we will have free prasadam starting from 8:30 p.m. But we will also have food stalls in which we will serve all different delicious offerings, and that will start right from the beginning of the festival from 5 p.m.
So langar style, that's very good. So we're having all the stalls there as well. You mentioned that from the very beginning. So that takes me to my next question. So what is the duration of the whole program?
The program will start from 5 p.m. and it will conclude program right after midnight around 12 a.m. We encourage all our guests to participate in the whole program. However, according to their convenience, if they can attend program between 5 and 12, the most important thing is your presence is the essence, and it will add to our vibrant atmosphere.
And of course, midnight is the actual Janmashtami. So that is, if people can, that would be very, very good. So looking at the duration, normally there is very good stage programs that do take place. So what's happening this year? What are the plans for, what kind of performances are there?
So we are going to have amazing stage performances, starting with dance activities, dance performances from kids, Bharatnatyam dance, cultural activities. Also, there will be a couple of dramas on portraying Lord Sri Krishna's pastimes. Will be done by our enthusiastic kids and also adult devotees. And then you will also enjoy some musical instrument performances. So yes,
and there's a lot of talent in Brisbane and among ISKCON community as well. I've seen it's very good. It's very joyous, and I think the thing is that it just comes from the heart. That's what we can feel, whenever we attend the functions there. Now, of course, the joyous part and all this is all okay, but people are coming for Janmashtami. So if there are devotees who wish to take part in Lord Krishna's Abhishek, can they do that?
Yes, absolutely. Janmashtami is not only a festival of, just observing. You can actually participate by doing some rituals like giving Abhishek to Lord Shri Krishna. And because we expect thousands of attendees, we have created a system where you can sponsor a small bliss pack, which gives you a special opportunity to give Abhishek to Lord Shri Krishna. Yes.
And I think that is wonderful that everyone gets that opportunity as well. When you are talking about the number of attendees and having a system that we can manage that that would be wonderful. Now, of course, there are many people who may be willing to or like to support the event. So, on all our listeners and viewers, if they would like to support such a wonderful event, what can they do?
Absolutely. Please come along. We do need enthusiastic devotees like you. If you want to come and help, you can come on the day to the venue. There will be devotees there from morning, from 9-10 a.m. in the morning, and you can help us organizing things or taking part in the activities, or just your positive presence will bring us all the positive energy. So yes, it would be nice if anyone who would like to help in serving prasadam. We'll be serving prasadam after 8:30, and also we'll be serving prasadam at midnight for those who are fasting on the day. So after 12 o'clock, if you can stay and help, we would love devotees to take on board. And please contact one of our team members and let us know how you can help us.
Thank you so much for that information. Now, should our listeners and viewers need more information, say once again, in conclusion, if you could just touch on the venue and the location, and if there are any parking details or of the arrangements.
Sure. So again, the Janmashtami festival is happening in Brisbane at the Croatian Club Brisbane. The address is 164 Dunn Road in Rockley. There will be ample of street parking. There will be some parking at the venue as well, depending what time you come. Also, if you need more information about the event, you can go to our Facebook page called ISKCON Brisbane, and we regularly update about parking areas. We also update about the activities, the timings of the stage performances, and other related information on Facebook page. So please go and like on our Facebook page, and you will get all the notifications related to Janmashtami 2023.
And thank you very much for that update. And ladies and gentlemen, you can also check the Brisbane Indian Times and Australian Indian Radio website as well, and our Facebook pages as well. And if you are subscribing to our EDM, which will go out today for Friday, you will get a notification as well. And the event will be published in the paper as well. So it's a joyous occasion. Everyone should come along to the event, and Australian Indian Radio and Brisbane Indian Times have always been proudly supporting the event. So with that, thank you so much for coming into the studio, Dipigan Aji, and sharing that information. Wishing you all the very best and a great success for ISKCON Janmashtami 2023. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna.